listened to a podcast this week by author Brené Brown, and she was remarking about her college-age daughter. And she said that one day she looked at her daughter and she said to her daughter, "You will never know any more than you do right now." And when I heard this in this podcast, it really, really resonated to me as I looked at my 19-year-old daughter. I realized how much deep, deep truth is in that statement. You will never know more than you do right now. You see, my daughter, Mackenzie, she is a sophomore in college, and she's learning like crazy. She's learning about the world and what it means to be an adult and the good parts and the not so good parts, and what it means to be herself, what it means for her to be Mackenzie. It's like when she graduated, she got this big box that represents her whole life. And we've put things into this box. We've put things like her dreams and her education, and we've put in expectations from us and experiences. Her dad has put in some things, and I've put in some things, and her friends and her teachers and her grandparents, her mentors, her bosses, and her Sunday school teachers. And then she went to college. And in college, she gets to start taking these things out of this box and decide really if she's going to keep them or not. To decide on her own, to make, like, if she's going to jump into spirituality like her mom taught her or not, or if she's going to decide to vote like her dad or not. She gets to take each one of these things out of her box and hold them up and look at them and analyze them and evaluate them and decide if they are now a part of who Mackenzie is or not. And I think it's true. I think she'll never know more about the world than she does right now as she chooses to maybe get rid of some of those things in her box. As we grow older and move through life, we question things about ourselves and our families and our experiences, and we hold them up into the light and see and try and analyze if they are true. If these experiences and the question, if they actually are who we are. But if we keep learning and we keep having experiences, so oftentimes we learn that the things that we have identified with, maybe even so closely, these things that we identified with as a child, well, maybe they aren't actually still who we are, or maybe they were never who we are. When I was a young kid, I was a young kindergartner. My birthday is in August, so I had just turned 5 right before school started, making me one of the youngest kids in my entire grade. And as I was growing up, I've shared with you before that I moved a bunch of times. I attended 5 different elementary schools in 4 different states. But I remember as a child, my mom saying that she had wished that she had held me back that kindergarten year and waited until I was 6 years old to send me, because she said that I struggled with social skills. And I internalized the fact that I heard my mom say that I struggled with social skills. And I thought, yeah, I struggle with social skills. And I held on to that thought for a long time. And it wasn't until I went to college when I realized that I was actually quite good at making friends, and I was good at making friends really pretty quickly. And so I thought about what my mom said some more, and I held it up so I could examine it just to see if it was really actually true. So I called my mom up and I said, "Do you know what? You've always said that I struggled with social skills growing up." And she said, "Yeah." So I challenged her on this. I said, "Do you think maybe I struggled with social skills, not because I had some kind of developmental delay, but because we moved all the time?" And as my mom sat there on the other end of the phone, she sat there like quiet. And she said, "Angie, I'll be honest, that never occurred to me. I bet that was it." You see, we get these messages from people around us, whether intentionally or not. We get these messages like, you're not smart, or you're hyperactive, or you're depressed, or you're lazy, or you're not good enough, or you're too fat, or too ugly, or too disorganized, or you're perfect. Now we expect you to stay that way, or you're not good at math, or you're not good at reading, or you're just not enough. We get these messages. And these messages, they have a way of ending up in our box and becoming part of our identity, part of what we are carrying around with us day to day, year after year, part of how we see ourselves until maybe we get to take these messages out and hold them up to the light to see if they really are who we are. So what if instead we took these messages that other people gave us, and we held them up to the light of Christ, held them up to our identity rooted in God, who is the author and perfecter of our faith. This is a God who says things to you like, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. A God who says, I created you in my own image, and it is good. A God who says, do not be afraid, I am with you. I have called you by your name. A God who says, you are my child, the beloved, who I am well pleased with. This God who says, you are enough. Let me tell you who you are. Hold those identity cards up in the light and let me shine my light through to you. Friends, your identity is rooted in God, who loves you, who comes to you in darkness and shines light on you. The same God who comes to us in the darkness of winter and breaks through as God with us in the baby Jesus. This Advent, we're going to wonder a lot together. And this week, we're talking about Honest Advent. It's based on a book by Scott Erickson. And if you know someone who needs to have some of those messages just have a light shined on them today, would you do me a favor? Would you go ahead and share this message with them? Would you go ahead and tag them in it? If you're joining us on Facebook, I want to invite you to like Calvary's Facebook page. And if you're joining us on YouTube, would you go ahead and hit the bell and hit subscribe? If you're on cable access, invite a friend to just wonder with you during this season of Advent. And if you're around the Alexandria area or even farther away, I want to invite you to check out our Christmas website at www.christmaswithcalvary.com. And then this week, special here on the Daily Dose, at Friday night at 6:15, we're going to be having our night of worship. It's going to be awesome. And I know that you will be so excited to be part of it. So please join us here. Thanks for joining us.
Even though I walk through the valley, you are near. And even though I know you are with me, I still fear. When I think it's over, you reach in and pull me through. Brand new, you make all things new. Brand new, you make us new. And when darkness surrounds me, I see your light. And with every heartbeat, I'll move with you. When I think it's over, you reach in and pull me through. Brand new, you make all things new. Brand new, you make us new. Brand new, come on. Brand new, you make all things new. Brand new, you make us new. You gave your life to give us new life. You make all things new. You gave your life to give us new life. You make all things new. You gave your life to give us new life. You make all things new. You gave your life to give us new life. You make all things new. Brand new, you make all things new. Brand new, you make us new. Brand new, you make all things